Hi guys, Celestia here. In the last part of the story of Fig, Falar had told the clan some very upsetting things, and most of them reacted as anticipated. The shock, disbelief. Women cried. Men were outraged. But there were 3 men who didn't react. And we're going to pick up the story from there. Falar said, I understand your outrage. This is not something any chief should ever have to tell his clan. But unfortunately, everything I've told you is true. Macathis is dead, and Elthanor is on the run. You may be asking yourself how the mercenaries managed to avoid being detected by the barrier. Well, I hadn't got to that part as yet, so let me explain. Not only was Elthanor cowardly enough to hire someone to do me in, she also contacted a magic user. And this magic user bespelled the mercenaries, and they were magically cloaked. The barrier didn't detect them because obviously the magic was very much like the barrier itself, and they were able to get in. Some of the members of the family and the elders are under the impression that the reason Macathis is dead is because he'd failed in his task, or that she had no more use for him, or just the fact that she was so power hungry and thought she'd be chief that she didn't want to share that power with Macathis. So despite the fact of one of the mercenaries being dead, one of Elthanor's cohorts in crime being dead, there is still a mercenary, and a group of mercenaries probably, out there, as well as the magic user. If anybody in the clan was also convinced that somehow if Elthanor was chief, that they too would reap some of the benefits of her being chief, I think perhaps you might be having second thoughts. And if you're not, then you're foolish. She is still out there. My family and I are still not safe. But I think Shadow and the animals of the forest, as well as Ebony and his mate Snow, will make it a little more difficult for Elthanor to try again. If you were involved in this, and I have a feeling that some of you were, I'm putting you on notice that you're not going to succeed if you plan on taking up where Elthanor left off. I have a feeling I know who you are. And it's a good thing that there's a jail having been constructed, because that's where you're going to end up. As Falar's talking, he is looking directly at these 3 men. Different emotions are playing across their faces. Disbelief, anger, fear, hatred, resentment. So Falar decided to push the point. He said, Shadow has never tasted elven blood. Not to my knowledge, anyway. So if you want my job, I say bring it. Tell me why you should be chief. Tell me why Elthenor should be chief. I'm going to find you and I'm going to question you. And there are certain drugs that can be used to make you talk. And you will be judged to the nth degree of elven law. At the least, you're traitors. At the most, you're accessories to murder. Because make no doubt that Elthenor did murder these two men. I don't know how yet, but she did. He goes to open his mouth to say more when a few of the people in the crowd began to rise slightly off their seats, and they're looking towards the open door of the Great Hall. He's confused. He looks back at people on the dais, and they're all looking that same direction, and he turns, and there in the open doorway is Cecilia, Rowan, and Mead. Cecilia nods, and they lead her forward, up the stairs of the dais, directly to Pilar. Pilar says, "What are you doing?" She says, "Pilar, would you please introduce me to the clan?" He says, "Are you sure this is wise?" She said, "Oh, yes." She said, "I heard the last part of what you were saying, and I need to address these men as well. And I need to tell them of my visions. The entire clan." He said, "You don't have to do this." There's an air of expectancy running through the crowd. Some of them wondering who this is, why she's there. People realizing that she's not an elf, that she's human. And these men are radiating hatred. She says, "Please, Pilar." She says, "Very well." He said, "Everyone," he said, "I would like to introduce you to Cecilia." Cecilia is the human female that was found under a tree in Gren Forest before the death of our seer. She wants me to introduce her to you. So I give you Cecilia. She's visibly shaking, and Rowan steps up to her and she says, "You don't have to do this." She says, "You know I do." She says, "No, you don't." Mead says, "Let her be, Rowan. Let her be." Rowan gives her a filthy look and, "Fine, whatever." Cecilia says, "Hello, everyone." As Pilar said, I am Cecilia. I am the human found wandering in the forest. Well, I guess I was found under a tree or something, she said. "Honestly, I don't remember." She said, "I don't remember much. I don't remember my life before I was found in the forest. I didn't even remember my name. But thanks to Pilar's daughter Fig, and her being able to penetrate my mind, she was at least able to grasp that much. From what I've been told, my mind is chaotic. That there are bits and pieces of memories floating through it. Like a jigsaw puzzle that's been thrown in the air. None of the pieces seem to fit together. But thanks to unicorn magic, I am able to communicate with Doric while I'm sleeping. And she has managed to tell me one thing. And that one thing is that I'm psychic. I come from a long line of psychics. And again, there's a big hoopla and people yelling and who do you think you are and all these other things. And Galan stands up and says, "Oh, shut up!" He said, "For the love of the gods, shut up." He said, "You're so rude. Let the woman speak. Obviously she has something important to tell you. Shut up." She says, "Thank you." He says, "I'm going to stand here beside you." She says, "Thank you." He says, "I'm Galan." She says, "Thank you, Galan." She said, "Galan is right. I do have things to tell you." I was given a gift of being a psychic. Trust me, it's not a gift I wanted. If I could give it away, I would. But I was told by Ebony the Black Unicorn that even if by unicorn magic they suppressed my gift, I would turn to be as mad as Elfinor. And I would be a danger to the clan and to myself and to anyone I came in contact with. So I have to accept the gift and learn to use it. The reason I'm here is to tell you how sorry I am that Doric is not with you any longer. She was an important person in the clan. And I've come to respect her greatly. But now that she's passed over the veil, her powers are dwindling. And soon she will have no more visions. And she will just be another spirit. She has passed through the veil, but only just. She wants to stick around until I'm trained. She said, "I do have visions. And I have some that you need to hear. I'm not asking you to trust what I'm going to tell you or believe it. But I need to tell you anyway. And I hope that someday I will earn your trust." She said, "I heard the last part of what Chief Villar was saying, but I don't know what else he's told you, but the Elder Macathis is dead, along with one of the mercenaries hired by Elfinor to kill your chief. Elfinor will not be found in Gren Forest. She's on her way to the Pyrenees with the other mercenary, planning to hide out in their encampment close to the mountains of the Pyrenees. The mountains where rumors have it that a crazy band of dwarfs live. that rock trolls and orcs wander. This is all untrue. These rumors were perpetrated by the mercenaries to keep people away. The magic user who bespelled the mercenaries is also amongst them. I have a feeling, although I haven't seen it, but I have a feeling that Elthanor's going to try again. But she won't succeed. And the reason she won't succeed is because the Mind Raper, as Valar calls it, is going to finish her off. There was a great tragedy not too far from the Pyrenees, where a group of bandits attacked quite a large caravan and killed everyone. Women, children, men, merchants. They wanted no witnesses, so they killed them all and took what they could find. That great tragedy and the leaving of souls under such circumstances left a resonance of pain, suffering, and terror. And I'm not sure how it happened, but somehow this got mixed with magic and formed the Mind Raper. The Mind Raper was asleep for a long time, but was awoken by Elthanor's madness. It is going to find the encampment, and it will finish Elthanor off. It will drive her completely mad, and when she's completely incapacitated, it will take her life force. It will probably do the same thing to the mercenaries, although I haven't seen that as yet. But the magic user is going to escape. And he will continue to be a plague to this clan. I haven't seen his face. He's dressed in black with a black mask. I'm not sure where he came from. But if the Mind Raper kills Elthanor, it will kill them as well. It's the nature of this creature. It will drive the mercenaries mad. They'll probably attack and kill each other. And then it will finish them off. So the mercenaries are not going to be a problem, but the magic user will be. He thinks he now knows a weakness in the clan. And he thinks he's going to be able to sneak in with the help of people here now, who, even as I'm speaking, is shocked that I know this much and are planning my demise. Valar looks at her. Galan gasps. She says, "Oh, it's true." She says, "But I want you to know that I know who you are. I know that somehow you are connected to this magic user. But I have a feeling that you're not going to succeed. Because I'm hoping Valar is smart enough to know that you're out there as well. Things are going to change. I'm not going to tell you what, but I will tell the chief and the elders. But know that you're on notice by me. As I said, I know who you are. I know what you want. And it's not going to happen. And that's where we're going to leave this part of the story. Oh my goodness. Was she brave? Cecilia? Was she foolhardy? Did she throw down a gauntlet for these men? Basically telling them to bring it on? And what of Galan standing up for Cecilia? Galan is single. Who knows? So until we get together the next time, my friends, for the next part of the story of Fig, remember, never let anyone dull your sparkle. And know that I love you all. Goodbye.